This is something I saw online on Facebook actually that I thought was pretty interesting and worth a discussion or at least the question. Would you pay $100 for a CD or a mixtape, an album, whatever? Would you pay $100 for a CD? In this day and age, it's becoming a lot more common. But let's go back to where this started. Caskey dropped the $100 mixtape a couple weeks back. He put up a pre-order for the first 500 copies. A couple weeks back, them shit sold out in like hours. And then he put up another 500, making it a total of 1,000 copies last week for the $100 mixtape, like legit $100 for this CD, and sold out of it within a day. So within, I'll say, 2 days, this dude sold out of 1,000 copies of a $100 mixtape. And I asked, actually, I didn't ask shit. Someone was talking shit on his Facebook saying, "Hey, why the fuck are you charging $100? You're abandoning your fans and all this shit." Caskey wrote, "Homie, one thing you can't do is make me feel bad for charging any price for my art. Such a weird, entitled mind state that I'm somehow wrong for this in a world where artists are paid a fraction of a cent for a stream." And that's facts. Artists are paid shit for a stream on Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit. He goes on to say, "To think that anyone would stop fucking with me for making an exclusive piece of art for people who could afford it when my whole career I've put out music for free. But hey, do you, homie?" And I asked the question on social media, is Caskey speaking facts or is he capping on this shit? Me personally, this dude has a legit fucking point, you know? $100 mixtape. If you can afford the $100 mixtape, you're gonna buy the $100 mixtape. I saw a lot of good points from people online as well. I could see both sides of the fence because shit, a year ago I was complaining about Conway the Machine charging $100 for a CD, and I remember he put them up for sale, and they sold out, and then a couple months later he put them up again, and by that time it was like clear that that was my album of the year, and I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna drop the $100 for this CD. Like, I gotta have this CD. I fucking love this album so much. I'm not gonna miss the chance again. And I paid $100 for the Conway the Machine from King to a God. So I could see both sides of the fence here. I could see, fuck paying $100 for a mixtape just because, for a CD, just because it's $100. It's fucking expensive, man. Like $100 for the average person. That ain't some shit to fucking just like cough up for a fucking CD, But if you can afford it, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna, I'm gonna take the side of the artist on this shit. A lot of people, when I asked the question, were like, "Fuck that shit. That shit's bullshit." I mean, ICP's doing it right now with the Walking Home series. They're charging $117 for a CD, basically a CD and a comic book and a couple other pieces of merch. But $100 for some shit that you probably could get for like 30, $40. But I'm gonna take the side of the artist on this shit. We are in the day and age right now where, you know, artists make most of their money touring. That's just a giving. They don't make that much money off streams, depending on how many fucking streams you get, right? So charging $100 for a mixtape, while steep, although steep, if you're a fucking diehard fan and you can afford the shit, why not? If you can't afford it, and the artist is making it clear that, hey, this isn't for everybody, and if you can't afford it, it's all good, and if you can, even better. So I'm gonna take the side of the artist because Not only did I buy the Conway the Machine from King to a God album for $100, he put out the deluxe edition, and that was also $100. I also bought that. And I'm trying to think of other expensive ass shit that people put out, exclusive shit. You can count the VIPs and all that, but this is a way for the artist to give the fans something exclusive, at least in Caskey's position right here, where there's only 1,000 of this mixtape, never to be pressed, never to be put online as well. Like, this is exclusive to the 1,000 people that bought it. Like I said, I could see both sides of the fence because $100 is fucking expensive, man. It really is. But if you can afford it and you fucks with the artist that heavy, then all the fucking power to you, man. Seriously, and all power to the artist to be able to do this shit. I've talked a lot of shit. I've given a lot of shit for overcharging and overpricing for shit. But hey, this is it. This is the kind of the world we live in right now, especially with the pandemic and all that shit. I was giving ICP a lot of shit for charging hundreds of dollars for a concert ticket when they were doing like Hollowicked, Big Ballers, and all that shit. Hey, in retrospect, looking back on it, I'd have to go back on my statements of saying, hey, this is bullshit. You shouldn't be doing this to the fans. This is for the fans who can afford it. And if the artist can get away with it, then so fucking be it, man. So fucking be it. It might be rough and it might suck if you can't afford it. It might suck that you can't get these exclusive items or attend these exclusive events, but I think that's what you got to do when it comes to shit that just isn't meant to be for fucking everybody. It's unfortunate. And, as far as concerts go, I'm not going to spend $100 plus. I'm just not. But I will spend $100 on a little piece of, circular plastic and possibly a fucking cardboard sleeve for $100. So, I picks and choose my battles. I'll pay for the music. I'll pay for that art because it is art. I don't think there should be a price limit on an artist's work, whether it be paintings, music, drawings, anything like that. And this goes against everything I've fucking said before. Complaining about fucking CDs, Ouija Mac charging $20 for a CD that comes in a cardboard sleeve. But who the fuck am I to tell him what to fucking charge for his art? I could see it. Like, I could see it from that side, and I'm going to take that side. I think maybe as a creator, and the deeper I get into this shit, the amount of time that it takes to put out a piece of art. This podcast, all 154 episodes I've ever done, each episode is a piece of art. Whether you want to look at it that way or not, it is what it is. The amount of time that goes into the shit, you can't tell an artist what to charge or what not to charge for their art. It's their fucking art. Buy it or don't. I'm completely switching my fucking stance on that shit. And I bitched and complained so fucking much about a whole lot of shit, quote unquote, being overcharged for music. But I'm going to walk it all back. I really am. I'm just going to walk all that shit talking that I did back because it is what it is. Buy it or fucking don't. I still, I just got the Ouija Mac Shit for Brains mixtape. That was a $20 mixtape, again in a cardboard sleeve. A year ago, I would have been bitching and complaining about it, but now it's like, hey, it's art. It's the art. It is what it is. And, would I at least like it to see in a jewel case and shit like that? Still, yes, of course. But I'm still willing to drop $20 for a piece of plastic in a cardboard sleeve because of the art that is contained on that piece of plastic. So, yeah, I'm going to walk back all that shit. I stand behind the artists, charging whatever the fuck they want because that's their right. And they can charge whatever the fuck they want. So, yeah. That's a big walk back for me because I did a lot of bitching and complaining. A lot of bitching and complaining. But hey, I'm only fucking human, man. I contradict myself all the fucking time. I listen back to these podcasts and I'm like, bro, I was saying some different shit just a few months ago, but I think that's just part of being fucking a person, right? You could change your fucking mind about shit. So, I don't know. I just think it is what it is. You either going to drop the $100 or you're not. I don't know. I thought it was a nice little fucking topic to discuss on this week's episode. And maybe I should have made that the fucking cover of this week's show, considering I just spent so much fucking time talking about it. But I fucks with that Ritz album, so I'm going to keep it uh, the way it is because that Ritz album's fire. Peep that shit. And shout out to Caskey for fucking selling out of 1,000 copies of 100,000. No, selling $1,000. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now. Selling 1,000 copies of $100 mixtape, getting that quick 100 grand, man. That dude don't have to work for the rest of the year. He could take the rest of the fucking year off. But I doubt he'll do that. He just dropped that project with Yellow Wolf a couple months back. And yeah. So yeah, that's my fucking stance on it. Artists could charge whatever the fuck they want. Either it's up to you if you're gonna fucking pay for it. And if if you just disagree with it that much, don't buy it, and the artist won't fucking charge you that much. Again, they'll be sitting on a shitload of product that they can't fucking sell because they overcharged you. I think only certain artists can get away with that shit. And it looks like Caskey's one. Like I didn't realize Caskey was at the level where he could sell 1,000 copies of $100 mixtape. I just didn't. So yeah. I'll leave that at that.